Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Also the North Central Chaplain for Broken Chains, JC. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Today is January 21st, 2026. We are looking at Proverbs chapter 21, and we're going to look at verse 13 today. Proverbs 21, verse 13 says this: "The one who shuts his ears to the cry of the poor will himself also call out and not be answered." You know, this is one of those verses that gets used all the time to say that we have to be out there taking care of the poor. And Jesus said that we need to make sure we're taking care of the widows and the fatherless children. We need to be looking out for the less than in our community. He also said we will always have the poor with us. We're never going to be able to fix that problem. But Solomon here says, the one who shuts his ears to the cry of the poor will himself also call out and not be answered. You know, there are times where we want to go and advocate in the wrong areas. See, we are to advocate in the areas where we can be of help, taking care of those in need, where we can go and take care of those in need. But when we try to go out and advocate in the areas of you're not taking care of those in need and you need to get your life right, we're taking the role of God into our own hands. Solomon says, don't worry about that. Do your part. Because those people who shut their ears to the cry of the poor, they will find themselves in a position where they're crying out and no one's listening to them, and they're going to understand. Too often as a believer, I think it's my job to go correct the misfortunes of others in their actions instead of correct the misfortunes of others in their needs. Today, I'm sitting here and I'm realizing that that's self-righteousness, and that becomes a problem in my own life. In verse 10, Solomon had this to say: "A wicked person desires favor. He has no consideration for his neighbor." When we're pointing at others and saying you're not doing it right, we're really trying to point at others to say you're not doing it right so that we can feel better about the little that we've done. I'm going to say it this way. You may have only done a little, but if you've done all you can do, you've done everything. And those people that choose not to, that's between them and God will take care of it. And if you trust God, you'll trust Him to take care of it. Now, I know it often looks like He's not doing anything. And I get it. It's frustrating. Trust me, I understand. We as a church, we often get asked for help. And we're a small church. We don't have the ability to help the way maybe a larger church with a much bigger budget could do. And there was a time where I felt really guilty about that, thinking we should always be in poverty because we should be giving it all away, and realizing that God expects us to be good managers of all that He's given us. So the reality is this morning, remember, it's God who does the correcting, not you. He's going to correct you the same way he corrects someone else. It's our job to do our part. If you see a need and you have the ability to meet that need, you should meet it. And somebody called me this week and asked me, well, these people have a need and I have the ability to meet it, but they don't live right. I said, Jesus didn't ask you to live right before he met you where you were at. If you're taking care of everything you're supposed to take care of, and you are taking care of your family, you're taking care of your church, you're taking care of all the things that you're supposed to take care of, and you have been faithful in setting aside for your future, and you have more that you could give, then help. Of course you should help, because God put them on your heart and your mind. The one who shuts his ears to the cry of the poor will himself call out and not be answered. Of course we need to help. But remember, that was written to you, not for you to use for somebody else. That's really what the Bible is all about. It's written to you, for you to let it work on you and your relationship with your Savior, Jesus Christ. Not for you to use as a weapon against others. Something to think about for today. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. God bless.